Hi, Dr. Heather here from Wellspring Chiropractic Lifestyle Center. Today we're talking about the right protein. Science tells us exactly what our bodies need. And if we just look at human evolution, we can see exactly what our healthy ancestors were eating. In fact, the healthiest humans to ever walk the planet were the hunter-gatherers. And if we look at what the science is behind what they were eating, it actually tells us exactly what our cells need at a genetic level. So we have requirements that our cells are designed to use. We need to have essential amino acids, we need to have essential fatty acids, and we need to have essential nutrients that come from wild plants, from wild game, and from wild caught fish. That's what our ancestors were eating, and that's how they were thriving. So just think about it. 40,000 years ago, there was no industrialized farming, there were no feedlots, there was no antibiotic-laden meats and grain-fed, stuffed with corn and soy-fed meats. No, every food that was eaten was going to be organic and wild-caught and wild game. And so we need to actually take a cue from that if we want to be healthy. If we want to be as healthy as our ancestors, then we need to act like them. And that means not just eating like them. And if you think about it, there's a certain rhythm to that Paleolithic lifestyle and diet style, right? They would have gone out on the hunt, and maybe that day they would have gotten that rabbit, and they'd take it home and they'd feast on it. And then the next couple of days, it turns out then they would be vegan because all they'd be eating were plants because they couldn't get that rabbit. And then they'd be back in with the hunt and be celebrating again. So part of acting like a hunter-gatherer is looking at what they're eating, but also moving. You had to move to eat. So that was part of the whole process. And stress levels were actually pretty low, and they were acute, short-lived. No chronic long-term stress, no deadlines, no chaos, none of that. Everything was in a rhythm. And so getting good sleep and celebrating with your tribe that you survived another day, like light a fire and gather around. So think about that and recognize that the healthy protein is really important, and that vegetarianism was never a part of human evolution. Although it's a very common practice now, many people are getting sidetracked from that with their health. So the right protein is going to be from a healthy animal, and it's going to be the grass-fed, pasture-raised, and eggs would be one of the best examples of a healthy protein if they are, again, free-range, organic, and pastured. So those are the criteria, and go dance with your tribe.